This is our garden shed, and just a few weeks ago, it was a blank slate, but I wanted to make it practical and cute, but I didn't want to spend a lot because it is just a shed. I wanted it to be budget bougie. I'm on it, and now let me show you how we transformed it. These are my Inspo pics to show you where I want this project to go. The first item on my to-do list for the shed is painting the walls. I know it's a shed and you don't need to paint walls. I totally get that, but I just feel that it'll make it look brighter and a bit less sheddy. I know sheddy's not a word, but you know that I just want it to look just a little bit brighter, and maybe the paint will make spiders not want to come in here as much. That would also be great. But what I'm going to do to the paint is add a little bit of M1. It's just like a paint extender. It thins out the paint. I don't know how this chipboard's going to suck up the paint. I just think it'll be easier to roll it on with, like, if it's thinned out. And I'm not looking for like complete full coverage. If it's just a little bit like whitewash looking, I'm totally happy with that. So I feel like I have a lot of painting and a lot of cutting in to do, so I'm going to get started. Even though I'm painting everything white in here, I do want to stain this trim around the inside of the windows a dark brown. And that's just because when you look at it from the outside, the white really kind of pops a little too much. And if I do it darker, it'll kind of just blend in with the outdoor trim. So I'm really staining the inside to make it look better from the outside, if that makes any sense. But either way, I'm staining the window right now instead of painting it. Staining was the last step in the prep stage before we could move on to the build stage. Today we're building storage over here. Ralph's just gathering up all the tools, and we'll be building like a countertop, some shelving, and putting up like the best Facebook Marketplace find for like $20. I found an upper cabinet. That's exactly what I was looking for. So that will go up in that corner. But I guess I should maybe go help Ralph with all the tools and supplies. When the contractor was wrapping up the shed build, I asked if I could keep all the scrap wood instead of it being thrown away. I did get funny looks, but it was worth it because so much of what we build here is made using these leftovers. This 2x4 across the wall is the first support for a workbench with storage. The voids between the studs will be filled in at the same level as the counter. Here Ralph is adding small pieces of wood behind the 2x4 to act as brackets. The scrap wood was really handy for these sorts of small sections, but there were even 2x4s and 2x6s that were long enough to be used to build out my storage vision. More supports were added to frame out a box to support the counter. And a couple 2x4s were added as legs. Instead of buying a countertop, we used boards of lumber. Using more offcuts, we filled in the gaps between the stud work for more storage. A couple of pressure-treated boards were left behind. They're significantly darker, so we made a pattern using them. And I think this adds character and saves us money. Because we had some large pieces of chipboard left over, we used them too. If I had to buy something to make shelves, I wouldn't have used chipboard, but it was free, or better said, already paid for. More chipboard was added to the side of the workbench to stop anything from falling down there and getting trapped. It was too tight of a space to do anything else with. And I did give them many coats of paint. And this was all leftover paint too, so just a lot of free going on. In keeping with our budget theme, we found screws at the Restore. Score! To support the cabinet, Ralph used a piece of chipboard as a backer board. The cupboard had pegs for a shelf, but no shelf. We picked one up at Home Depot, and it was a couple inches too long. Nothing a saw couldn't fix. To the side of the cabinet, we added, well really, he added 2 shelves, which I think will be great for storing pots and whatever other gardening things I have. Even though this is a shed and I'm trying to be budget aware, I did have extra pieces of trim which we added to the front of the shelves. Ralph used these cool trim nails which support only from the back side, which means I did not have any holes to fill. I thought this looks a little more finished and a little less storage shed. I really like the stripy pattern that the lumber and the pressure treated boards made, and I wanted to protect my new counter. I started with whitewashing. It didn't make a drastic difference, but this is step 1. Step 2 is stain. I used special walnut over the whitewash. You might be wondering why I bothered with this 2-step process. Well, this is what the counters look like after staining. This is what the wood looks like without the whitewashing step. It's really different, and both are actually really nice. But if you want a softer look, you do the whitewash first. I only did 1 coat of stain, and when it was dry, I gave it 6 layers of top coat. And this is how it turned out. Other storage I needed was for shovels, rakes, and other garden tools. I painted up some scrap wood and Ralph attached it to the studs on the back wall. He doesn't like painting and I don't like the impact driver, so this division of labor works perfect for us. These boards are there to support hooks. And these hooks I bought online for about $18. They are sturdy, strong, and exactly what I had in mind. The storage bench was divided in half. One side left completely open for tall or big items, and the other side has a shelf. For the spaces between the studs, I found baskets at Dollarama that fit in perfect. Very happy with this. Now it's time to start filling the shed with all my gardening supplies. I have to admit, I have way more gardening stuff than I thought. Even though it's practical things and not decor, it kind of looks nice out in the shed. Along with hanging gardening tools on the wall, I have a step stool to help me reach the top shelves. And we added a towel bar for shop towels. I've left this spot blank even though I do have extra hooks. I want to use the shed and see what I need before filling it all up. I found this basket at Dollarama and I think it's for clothespins. There's little hooks that come out the back. And I guess you would hang this like on your clothesline and put your clothespins in here. Now, I like my dryer too much. That's not what I'm going to be using this for. But I think it'll make really cute storage in here. I also grabbed a wooden broom handle, broomstick. And these hooks hook perfectly onto it. Another thing I ordered were these faux leather straps that I'm going to have attached to the studs and then have the broomstick go through. And then I'll have really cute storage. First part of my budget bougie storage is done. It's looking even better than I was hoping. It's not just a storage shed, it's going to be a great space for creating videos and working on projects. And there's still the other side of the shed that we haven't shown, and we have some fun plans for that. To follow our progress, subscribe and click that notification bell. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've been having a great summer so far, and I'll see you soon with another project. Bye! I look like I'm on a toilet. I'm not. It's just a paint can. It does look funny. Anyways, okay. Ralph's watching me. Maybe he can go make us iced coffees because it's a hot one in here. He's taking things that I put in here and he's taking them out because he doesn't, because they said Ryobi on them. So he's like the owner of all the, I own like 2 Ryobi things, maybe 3, but I put one in here and he's like, eh. And then he just snuck in here and stole it back. So anyways, okay.